What's up, my Bitcoin brothers and my Bitcoin sisters? This is Rob with the BTC007 channel coming to you from beautiful Venice Island. Another gorgeous day down at the beach, 5 out of 5. And yes, I am your host, digital trader, investor, and aficionado in this new emerging asset class of digital assets. And so, yes, let's keep her moving. And if you are new to this channel, if you would hit the subscribe button to subscribe, the bell for notifications, that like button, tap it, slap it, whatever you are feeling for a Friday. The weekend is here and upon us. And yes, millionaires and billionaires will be made in this space over the next bull run between 2024 and 2025. And we'll be creating not only life-changing wealth, but in many cases, generational wealth as well. And if you are interested in my Patreon trading group, which we have over on Telegram, which is not financial advice, anything I say, but if you want to see what I'm doing, you can join my trading group down below. All you do is just send an email and say, "Hi Rob, I'm interested. I'll get back to you." And basically what we do is I cover the other tokens that I'm in outside of Bitcoin and Ethereum. We do cover that as well, but other tokens that I have long and swing trade positions in for this 2024-25 bull run. And it's kind of two different things that we try to do on our agenda. One is just to get a monthly return. We try to just maintain at least anywhere from 3.5%, which is about a 42% annual return, which is not bad versus the stock market, which is about 7%, and also upwards of 20 to 23% on a monthly basis. And our best trade, my last trade that I executed, I took $5,000 and turned it into $50,000. That's for a 10x in less than a year, and I just actually took profit on that. That was sweet, by the way. And that's a 10x, and you know how long that would take in the stock market? 100 years, because the stock market will give you on average about 7% return, in which case it takes about 10 years for your money to double. That's a 1x. To do a 10x, that's 100 years. So, and then quickly, by the way, as we move into the markets, Bitcoin is trading at 64,000 as we speak. It's down about 2% on the 24 hours. Ethereum's down not as much, 1.5% at the time of this recording at 3,488, with the total market cap for the crypto space at 2.35 million. One of the big news, by the way, is Bitcoin that we're going to be looking for once this market starts to shift. Is when we start to move above 70,000 for Bitcoin, and also once Ethereum want to see that get above and move above $4,000. And so both of those have a bright future, my friends. Currently, the current market cap is 2.35 trillion, but it's also anticipated that we could see by the end of the year upwards of $10 trillion enter this space. That's about 3 times from where we sit, maybe upwards of 12 trillion, which would be up to four times the amount. And that is basically because the big boys get to get in game. That would be called the financial institutions. So what are the forces driving the Bitcoin 2024-25 bull run? One is the elections. The elections indeed will be propping up the markets to make them look so good for the polls when people go to vote with their wallets. And then two is the Federal Reserve anticipated that they'll be lowering rates here soon because of higher unemployment. That would also be a boost for both the stock market and crypto. And number 3 is the Bitcoin ETF, which is already en route and it's just really gobbling up, and I got some more stuff to say about that. And then number 4, just historically in the charts, Bitcoin halving, by the way, which took place back in April. After that happens, Bitcoin at the top of our cycle will be about 500 plus days after that event. That would put it about the end of summer of 2025, which is only about 18 months out, which is not a long-term hold investment, if you ask me. That's just basically short-term. So, and then the reason why it's a super cycle, again, institutional money, big players coming in this market, whether it's the BlackRocks, the Vanguards, Merrill Lynch's, Goldman Sachs, it is really getting exciting. June of 2025, this is really neat. This is from Raoul Pal. It's just the ex-Goldman Sachs exec living down on Grand Caymans with a lot of British swag, says NASDAQ liquidity index is a good indicator. He says it could hit 27,000 by June of 2025. All right, and he says by this September, try 24,000 in that liquidity index. And he thinks that our cycle top peak for Bitcoin could be a staggering as high as 400,000. If you're only halfway there and you're at 200,000 from where we sit today at 60,000 roughly, that is one insane gain for a period of about 18 months. And at today's current price, at that 400K, that would be a 6x on your return, which would once again take 60 years in the stock market, what can be done potentially in the next 18 months. For a little TA down by the beach, just of waters above crypto, talking about Bitcoin could see a double bottom. And it says that we could see, and it could kiss and go all the way down. What happened, we had such an expansion, Bitcoin exploded so much that it got really pulled away from its moving averages. So we could see it come all the way back down just to kiss and say hello to that 200-day moving average. Where is that? That's 57,000. Now that may sound scary, but just understand, it can kiss it on the wick, and the body candle may still close above 60K, which would be a totally bullish indicator and a double bottom that we are done, one and done, and moving out. And in the news, don't forget the Ethereum. This will move the needle for Bitcoin as well, because it will just bring more volume into the space. The Ethereum ETF will go live July 2nd. That will bring FOMO to this entire space once again. And the best of all comes from Daniel G, indeed the G, up in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Has me smiling all the way to the bank, by the way. This is what he predicts and sees in his crystal ball when it comes to Bitcoin. He says, I asked him, I had a privilege of chatting with him over the phone. He's part of my wheelhouse of who I like to go and chat with from time to time. He says he sees Bitcoin in 2024 could reach $100,000 per Bitcoin. And he says by the middle to the end of 2025, Bitcoin could reach anywhere from 200K to 350K. So let's just kind of round this up. It's like 360K. There's a 6x from where we are currently at. But there's a caveat to all this, and that is, says ETFs will be gobbling up the supply. And this is really staggering fact, because there are about 23 million Bitcoin out there. You want to know how much is left to gobble up on these exchanges? This is unbelievable. Only 900,000 Bitcoin are left. And he says everybody right now, when they're buying in big swaths, because they're institutional investors, people that have larger portfolios than a lot of retail that may be buying off smaller exchanges, and they're buying it at 10,000 and 20,000. He says this could skyrocket the price, not beyond the Raoul Palace 400, but upwards of 500,000 per Bitcoin. Get a little piece of that digital gold. That'll do it for me. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace out.